We do have sad news today in the world of like Pope Francis died this morning. Um, he was 88, according to this on my computer here, and the Pope is a very big person and has a very big presence in the Catholic Church, like the Vatican and everything like that. Um, but he had been the Pope for like the last 12 or 13 years. So eventually, I'm not sure who the new Pope's gonna be. Um, but here's a picture of him. There is Pope Francis. Um, I'm not sure how long a Pope is actually with the church for. Um, Obviously, he was around for a while. Um, okay, yeah, it says 12 years. It says he was elected Pope in 2013, and then he held that position until his death until 2025. Um, yeah. UPS is still fucking me on my hours, so I gotta keep looking for a job until I find something new. I'm supposed to have an interview at FedEx today, but I don't think I'm gonna go only because they told me that I needed to have an updated version of an ID, and I don't have that. So I'm like, so if I don't have the updated ID, I can't get in. So I'm gonna keep looking for something else until something better comes along. Um, but if you're gonna tune in, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button for more videos like this. And stuff like that. UPS is oh damn, that's pretty quick. Okay, I guess my video will be somewhat a little bit long, but hold on. Um, I got an order. I got an order coming in. So basically from a grocery store. So I'm just waiting for the order to come in. Um, but yeah, but Pope Francis was around from 2013 up until today, up until his death today as the Pope. His It says he held the position as Pope from March 13th of 2013 until his death on April 21st of 2025. Um, damn, let's see here. Um, let's see. He served in as a Jesuit from 1958 to 2013. He was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina. So his birthday, okay, yeah, so his birthday was December 17th, 1936, and he died on April 21st of 2025. And usually when the Pope dies, it's a very big thing, almost like when the president dies. It's like a big thing. Um, I guess I'll have to go downstairs and check my order because it says it's supposed to be here about 1:30. Shit. Man, I'm getting old. Man. If my hours start picking back up again at UPS, I'll still keep looking for a second job because I'd like to make extra money. So it's like it's not a bad thing to make extra money anyway. Um, the only other place I was thinking about would be Amazon or something like that. But Amazon, the only problem is with them they're not union and UPS is. So I would still probably write it out with UPS and then try to do Amazon as a second job. But only problem is Amazon is 10 hour shifts, which I don't mind doing. It's just that I gotta work around the schedule. Let's go downstairs and check this out. Yeah, a lot of unemployed and bread Trump supporters claim I don't have a six-bedroom house, but I do. This is one of my rooms that I use. Um, Yeah, but we got this here. The landlord likes putting wallpaper up on the wall to make the house look more, like have more of a feeling. He's got this right here. Then he's got the one with the plants right here. There's like two of those plants. Then you got this one. But I do like the bald eagle. The bald eagle is pretty cool. I like that bald eagle. Which is a very popular bird in the United States. Then he's got the tree right here with the little bird on it, or two birds. This, I don't think anybody lives in this room, but this is the master bedroom. This is a room I wish I had because of how big it is. And this is one of the guys that used to live here. This is a picture he had taken and left it up there, but that is the downtown portion of Chicago called the Greater Mile. I have never been over there, but I wouldn't mind going to check it out. Now here we got an extra closet. This bedroom has like 3 closets. There's like one right here. Kind of hard to really see, but there's really not much in there. We moved a lot of stuff over here. And then over here, there's a small closet that the guy uses for jackets. Then you got this closet right here for any extra storage. Where is the light over here? Oh, this might be it. Yep, here we go. Okay, yep, this is the one closet right here. Got a fridge right here, so if you ever needed anything, you have your own fridge. Then you got the bathroom here with the hot tub. Then you got your own little shower here. It's small, but it's got seats in here where you can sit down and shower. But I want this room with a hot tub alone. I feel like a James Bond villain if I'm ever sitting in the hot tub. So I guess I'll go downstairs in a minute. Then right here you got your own closet, like an extra storage closet. Up there is your attic, which nobody really uses. Let's go down here for a minute. Plus we got but we got this. I love this. Then you got 2 more bedrooms down here, one right here, one right there. But somebody lives in those rooms, so I'm not gonna go in there. An extra bathroom. And then we got our little fish bowl here with only like 3 fishes in there. We did have 3 more that were in this fish tank, but they all died yesterday, so we took them out. Who knows if they're gonna get any more. Now the pool, we're hoping to get that worked on by this year. Now, this right here, door in front of me is the garage, and then the next door is the one to the driveway. I think one of the roommates is doing a video on Twitch. That's why he's talking. It's a little chilly out here and windy. I'm that's so the house that you see right here is my whole house. Um, a couple of cars on here are for the roommates. Um, Now we're just waiting on mail to come in and my groceries. Yeah. And then once that gets in, we'll be good to go. Damn, it's chilly. Yeah, it's chilly out here. I don't even know what the weather's like. Look. That. Just trying to keep an eye out if the person comes in or not. Yeah, so the house that I actually live in, it's a 6 bedroom, 4.5 bath house. Works pretty well. There's 2 bathrooms upstairs, on the 3rd floor, and then on the 2nd floor there's one, and then there's 2 downstairs on the 1st floor. So then you never have to worry about using somebody that so you never have to worry about holding it if you don't have to. Only 2 bedrooms have bathrooms inside, and that's the master bedroom. And then there's, I think, in one of the guys' bedroom where he's got the toilet and he's got the sink, but he has to come out of his room to shower, to go shower somewhere else. And then we have our own washer and dryer downstairs in the 1st floor, so at least that's a good thing too, where you can do your laundry downstairs and never have to go to a laundromat to do it. Turn that back. Okay, there we go. Yeah, like I said, I'm just waiting on my order. Even though these things are not always accurate either. They say they're going to be here at one time and then they're never here. Oh, whoa. What the fuck? Oh. And then he's got like these motion lights on here. He's got like these motion lights too on the building. If you at night, he turns these on. There's like a camera connected to it where he can see who's out here and who's not. Like when they deliver stuff. But Pope Francis is dead. Man, I'm like, I knew he was up there in age, but obviously, and then they said he had trouble getting up and. Hold on a second here. And now it's saying 1:37. That's like 3 minutes away, or like a couple minutes away. Yeah, so a couple minutes away. I just had to get off the cold bowl. Yep. We have a decent sized living room too. This is our living room where we can sit down and watch our TV at. So yeah. There we go. And then there's a little office here. Some guy uses this as his office. And then you could see the whole city of Chicago on the wall, like right there and right there. But yeah, but this place does. It's really good. I don't know if not Indiana, Illinois is the only state that does this, but now if you want to get your ID updated, you gotta make an appointment. Indiana never used to do that. I think he's here. I think the person's already outside. Yep, I think this is him. My order. Oh, we're gonna get these. Yeah. Going up the side door. Yep. It's a little bit chilly out there today. Chilly?
No English.
Uh,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, this online shopping's killing me. It's like basically I just spent $170. But you know, a person's gotta eat though anyway. I think I got it. It did say it was unavailable, but obviously they found it. I know sometimes these online things, they're never always accurate either. But yep, this is what I was looking for. I'm gonna get another one tonight. Um, a battery charger. And then there's a bigger one I'm getting tonight. Which I'm gonna want the bigger one the most, but this will be used as a backup. But yeah, should have one more bag down there. But like I said, it was a little bit chilly, but the guy I was just talking to didn't speak very good English. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is all my groceries. Right here, you got frozen meals, pizza rolls, chicken nuggets. I like to have like a bag of chips for something to snack on. Paper plates, 2 ranch dipping sauces for the chips. Yeah, pretty much got everything that I ordered. Every now and then you'll get a letter you'll get like something stating that like the kitchen's pretty big here too. This is the silver thing behind me is the fridge. There's not really much in here at all. Here. We got like, yep, so we got that. Let's jump this over a little bit. I don't know if you guys are gonna see that well, but of this stuff. Whenever I can't get it in the freezer, I sometimes will put it in the fridge so they have space. As long as it stays cold, it doesn't have to 100% be frozen, but as long as it stays cold, it's good. we don't recycle anything in this house either, so that everything gets thrown away. Those. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Paper plates. Yeah, the paper plates are not that big. It's basically I just get what I can, but those are like the smaller size. But either way. Put one of those in the fridge already. Now we got that settled. One of the things the guy that owns this house, the living he's big on, is not wearing shoes in the house when you're not working. So basically, you gotta take your shoes off to keep the floor clean. Yeah. There we go. So we'll take this, and this all upstairs, and we're all good. Okay. Well. look at that later. I'll close my door too. I'd like to have privacy when I do my videos and not have people bother me when it's going on. Okay, so as I was saying before my order came in, we were talking about Pope Francis. Okay, so Pope Francis, like I said, died this morning. He was 88 years old. And like I said, he was the head of the Catholic Church from 2013 up until his death in like the Vatican. I've never been to the Vatican in Italy, but hopefully I'll make my way down there. And he was the first pope from the Society of Jesus, the Jesuit order, and the first from the Americas and the Southern Hemisphere, and the firstborn or raised outside Europe since the 8th century, Pope Gregory III. They've had Pope going for years. He was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The Pope's real name was Jorge Bergoglio. I'm not sure if I'm saying that name right. And he was inspired to join the Jesuits in 1958 after recovering from a severe illness. He was ordained as a priest in 1969, and from 1973 to 79, he was the Jesuit provincial superior in Argentina. He became the Archbishop of Buenos Aires in 1998, and he was created as a cardinal in 2001 by Pope John Paul II. Now, following the resignation of Pope Benedict the 11th, or no, 16th or something like that, on February 28th of 2013, a papal conclave elected Bergoglio as the successor for the Pope on March 13th. He chose Francis as his papal name in honor of Saint Francis of Assisi. But throughout his public life, Pope Francis was noted for his humility, emphasis on God's mercy, international visibility as a pope, and concern for the poor and commitment to interreligious dialogue. He was known for having a less formal approach to the papacy than his predecessors. Predecessors by, for instance, choosing to reside in the Domus Sanctae Marthae, House of Saint Martha, guest house, rather than in the papal apartments of the apostolic palace used by previous popes. Now, Francis made women full members of the in the Roman Curia. He maintained that the Catholic Church should be more sympathetic towards members of the LGBTQ community, and stated that although blessings of same-sex unions are not permitted, the individuals can be blessed as long as blessings are not given in the liturgical context. Francis was a critic of capitalism, consumerism, and overdevelopment. He made action on climate change a leading focus of his papacy. He was widely interpreted as denouncing the death penalty as calling it evil. Okay, yeah. He considered the death penalty evil, stating that the Catholic Church is committed to its abolition. In international diplomacy, Francis criticized the rise of right-wing populism. He called for the decriminalization of homosexuality. He helped to restore full diplomatic relations between the United States and Cuba. He negotiated a deal with the People's Republic of China to define how much influence the Communist Party had in appointing Chinese bishops and supported the cause of refugees. He called protection of immigrants a duty of civilization and criticized anti-immigration politics, including those of U.S. squatter Donald Trump. In 2022, he apologized for the Church's role in the cultural genocide of the Canadian and indigenous peoples. Francis owned the synod and synodality, which was described as the culmination of his papacy and the most important event in the Catholic Church since the Second Vatican Council. His cause of death was a stroke. Kind of surprised that they could determine that right away. Francis died at the age of 88 in the early morning of April 21st of 2025 on Easter Monday after suffering a stroke. In the weeks leading up to his death, he had been making fewer public appearances to be treated for chronic lung disease, including a respiratory crisis and pneumonia. He made his last public appearance the day before on Easter Sunday. He was the oldest of 5 kids. His mother was from Buenos Aires, and his father was an Italian immigrant from Piedmont. The Pope's father Mario left Italy in 1929 to escape the fascist rule of Benito Mussolini, but according to Maria, the Pope's only living family member that's still alive, said that the family did not immigrate for economic reasons. Most people do, but obviously not with them. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with UPS News. I could pull that up and see, but obviously there's not much going on except for layoffs. My supervisor did tell me that there was possible layoffs coming, but it hasn't happened yet. Hopefully not anytime soon, because I need fucking money. No, it's not what I want. God, it's like they're trying to guess what you're typing on this fucking thing. Okay, let's go to UPS News, see if there's anything worth putting out. Yep, UPS stock plunges 23.5%. That's, I don't know if that's considered somewhat good or somewhat bad. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on UPS, anything updated on UPS yet. Let me just keep looking here. But like I said, I'm hoping that there's no layoffs, because it would hurt me if I got laid off and not having another job yet followed up. They're supposed to, like, I think it was every week, or like it's every 3 months, where they're supposed to release like a quarterly report showing you how they performed. Let's see if there's any breaking news on UPS today. Yeah, just UPS was not open on Easter. UPS is never really open on the holidays. But it does say here that they're gonna close 200 locations. Let's see. This is from 3 days ago. Yeah, I'll go up here. So yeah, they're trying to make everything automated. A lot of people are not gonna like that, but so the parcel delivery giant's $9 billion Network of the Future initiative will involve 63 sortation sites with major automation projects. So according to this, sometimes they update these stories whenever it comes along. Yeah, so the parcel delivery giant UPS is set to close several hundred U.S. facilities amid the company's ongoing shift to having automated sorting facilities handle more volume. in a presentation to investors and the analysts on so like I said, they're going to try to make everything automated. Like I said, a lot of people are not going to be happy with this. UPS expects the project to scale savings from 19% achieved in 2024 to 34% in 2025, 46. So the company, so the company UPS expects the project to scale savings from 19% achieved in 2024 to 34% achieved. They're hoping to achieve a 34% savings in 2025, 46% in 2026, and 76% in 2027, before achieving a full savings during 2028. And UPS said that the plan has the company on a path to a 12% adjusted operating margin by 2026. And this is what, 2025 already. Like I said, it's not going well for a lot of people right now, especially with UPS. Let's try UPS current news or UPS recent news. That's going to be one of these two things. Let's check into this research on the plunge of UPS. UPS stocks plunged 23%. That's YTD. Should you consider buying or just dipping out? United Parcel Service, also known as UPS shares have declined 23.5% year to date. UPS's decline mirrors the Zacks transportation, air freight, and cargo industry. They fell 21.1%, and the 22% dip in shares of fellow industry player GXO Logistics. The rival FedEx has been a steeper year to date fall of 26%. Now. UPS shares have performed even worse in a year's time, declining 33% steeper than the industry's 27% fall in the same time period. Now, GXO Logistics and FedEx have declined 32% and 23% respectively in the same time frame. Now, however, the question that arises is whether the sustained sell-out and sell-off in UPS shares presents a buying opportunity. But let's dive deeper to answer this question. Now, due to the decline in shipping demand, volume is being hurt. Lackluster volumes have been hurting UPS results as of late. UPS expects average daily volumes to decrease 8% in 2025 and 2024 actuals. Now, the slowdown in online sales in the United States is apart from the softness in global manufacturing activity, and it's been hurting the demand scenario. Now, for the year 2025, on a consolidated basis, UPS expects revenue to be about $89 billion, which is way below the Zacks consensus estimate of $94.6 billion at the same time of the fourth quarter 2024 earnings release. Now, UPS is looking to lower its exposure to its largest customer and has been decided to cut its business by 50%. Projected revenues for 2025 are below the 2024 actuals of $91.1 billion. Now, UPS is a $1 billion company, but let's see if they continue making that. Now, economic uncertainty and tariff concerns, a rise in inflation over the past couple of months has unsettled the market. Now, as of late, U.S. markets have been characterized by a high degree of volatility and uncertainty surrounding U.S. trade policy and growing anxiety about the slowing of the U.S. economy. Now, hefty tariffs on the nation's biggest trading partners have given rise to fears of economic slowdown. Now, recently, Federal Reserve Chairperson Jerome Powell warned that trade tensions will raise further fears of inflation, growth, and slowdown and stagnation, and stagflation, basically. Now, in fact, UPS has already oblique guidance for 2025 does not include any significant impacts from the tariff policies given the current tariff-related tensions. A further cut in guidance from UPS cannot be ruled out. Now the sustainability of dividends in question. Now, in February, UPS management announced a 0.6% hike in its quarterly dividend payout to $1.64 per share, which is analyzed as $6.56 per share. But no doubt this represents UPS shareholder-friendly approach. Now, questions about the sustainability of its dividend arise. United Parcel Services elevated dividend payout ratio. The percentage of net income paid out as dividends of 84% highlights the concerns associated with the ability to maintain dividend payouts over the long term. Now we remind investors that in the early 2020s, when UPS businesses were flourishing, driven by exponential e-commerce growth during the peak pandemic period, the company made huge dividend payments. Free cash flow has been on a decline since touching a high of $9 billion in 2022. Now, currently, UPS's elevated dividend payout is hurting its operational flexibility. Now, with free cash flow barely covering the dividend, now at 2024 year end, the free cash flow was $6.3 billion, not much above its dividend payments of $5.4 billion. United Parcel Service expects to generate free cash flow of around $5.7 billion this year alone in 2025. Now, dividend payments are expected to be roughly $5.5 billion. Now, UPS stock is expensive, trading at a forward sales multiple of 0.93%, which is higher than the industrial levels and also fellow industry player GXO Logistics and rival FedEx. UPS stock has a value score of C, which I'm not sure what that even indicates. Now, in the past 60 days, the Zacks consensus estimate for UPS's first quarter and second quarter 2025 earnings and a full year 2025 earnings have moved south, and you can see that here. You can see that it's not going well, that you can see it's dropping. Some of it's dropping a little bit here, and you can see that. And this is not the best time to buy any stock in UPS. Now, UPS expansion upwards look good on paper. Now, United Parcel Service announced back in 2024 that it would acquire Estafeta, which is a Mexican express delivery company. Now, recently, UPS had announced that it's gearing up to enhance its export services from Kyushu, and to this end, UPS has started to wonder and to offer faster export services from more cities in Kyushu, providing businesses in the region with a quicker and easier access to its global logistics network. Now, UPS's recent efforts to expand its ground portfolio with two ground shipping options for residential and commercial shippers, UPS Ground Saver and UPS Ground with freight pricing, are praiseworthy. Now, however, the company's cost containment efforts are also aimed at driving long-term growth. However, despite the positives, the near-term risks are too hard to ignore. The tariff-related uncertainty and concerns that are related to dividend sustainability present major headwinds. Now, UPS's valuation is not tempting, but given these challenges, buying the stock despite the significant price decline seems premature now. But instead, one should stay on the sidelines and wait for clearer signs of stability. Now, if you currently have stock in UPS, they're telling you to sell it. instead of keeping it. Also, what UPS should be doing is telling people who have been at UPS for 30, 40 years to retire now because your pension isn't getting any better if you're staying on. Some people have been at my job for 30, 40 years as a UPS worker, and their pension isn't getting any better, so I don't know why they keep staying. I don't know if there's any other things on um, um, oh, damn. Yeah, the only death today really listed that was actually important was Pope Francis. Wow. Yeah, that's like the only one that was really listed that was actually worthy of telling. Let's see if there's anything else here. Yeah, that's really basically all that's listed there. Um, yeah, so, but when I used to live in Indiana, you never used to make an appointment when you had to schedule to go get your ID. But in Illinois, you got to make an appointment to even get your ID. I'm like, that's fucking stupid. And then you got to have 3 pieces of mail before you go in, or actually not 3 pieces of mail. It's like you got to have your birth certificate, social security card, and some form of mail to show that your address changed or not. And because I have a change, because I put a change of address in, my ID reads my old address, and I need to get the new one put on. Gotta wait for is trying to get an appointment in. But there's not much to really talk about today. It's just basically Pope Francis dying and that UPS is going downhill. I'm gonna keep looking for jobs, trying to find something. If I do find something, I'll let you guys know by next week or two, and hopefully something comes along within that short time. But yeah, so I'll let you guys go, and I hope you guys enjoyed. But make sure if you do come across this channel to make sure to like and subscribe to RBW King. I gotta take care of a couple things, and hopefully you guys will tune in next week. I'm sorry if you guys missed the live stream, but hopefully you guys could catch it next week.